Ready? One more time. Hold up. Wait. And then I gotta shake it off. Doot, 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 doot. What's good, everybody? Y'all know what it is. It's Friday the 18th. That's right, y'all. 2025. I'm your host, Bugatti NYC, and this here's our bottom line where we be talking about this and that and that and this and this and that where we be talking about this and that and that and this and this and that just got me pissed. Made it another week, y'all. Made it, ma. Top of the world. Made it another week, y'all. What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing this morning? How you doing, car care? I see you up in here early, like Mr. Furley. How y'all doing this morning? It's your boy Bugatti NYC. This is our bottom line. Hope everybody's having a fantastic morning. I know I am. Try to get this camera right. See if I can get that whole screen up in there right there this morning. Let y'all see that the top is there so y'all know that y'all not missing anything. Hope everybody's having a great day. I woke up good, had a lot of energy, did some last minute pooling, and just to make sure, I did some cheats, y'all. The early people, I'm gonna tell y'all right now. The people that don't like to put the likes, I got a whole bunch of Trump stuff starting off. That's what's gonna make them just come and start doing the likes. So people that's already here, y'all already know what the deal is, right? So when y'all see me playing this, y'all gonna be like, you don't normally play it like that. We're gonna try a different sequence this morning just to see what happens. But now back to the top of the story, just to let you guys know, y'all already know what it is. I'm gonna say hi to everybody that's up in here. Make sure that you're chiming in so I know where you're chiming in from. I got some stuff for St. Louis today. I see Rebecca's up in here from Grand Rapids, Michigan. We got the Mad Hatter. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Mad Hatter. How you doing this morning? Well, we got Batty Lynn. You already know. I know you from Detroit. Detroit's in the house. Car care as usual. And y'all know who I am and where I'm from. I'm your host, Bugatti NYC. I'm chiming in from the great state of, well, not so great anymore, but New York City. New York State. That's where I'm from. Just want to let you guys know we're roundabout here and we always share information for everybody because there's so much going on out there. Today, just got to let y'all know, thank God it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. We made it another week. For those who have to work the weekend, it's all good because y'all already know working on the weekend. That's also a song too. But for those who have this day off and the rest of this weekend off, y'all can come hang out with me and be here for both days of the weekend now, Saturday and Sunday, because y'all know we're here every day. But without any further ado, I'd like to get to work because I got a lot to show you. There's a lot in these titles. So let me do what I got to do and get my work started. Hope everybody's having a fantastic morning out there and everybody slept well. I'd like to get into the titles because we have so much to cover this morning. And starting off with, Trump urges Letitia James to resign. If you were here yesterday, you saw that Letitia James has a bit of a pickle that she's gotten herself into when it comes down to alleged mortgage fraud and loan fraud. We'll get into those titles and we got much more to show you guys. What else we got? We got the White House order to halt mass deportations amid pushback from judges. Yes, Judge Bozeman has said bring back the criminals now. He's not saying that right outright, but in so many words, when you're forcing the administration to try to bring back illegal criminals that have already been sent back, you might as well say that's what he's saying in a nutshell. Let's keep on going, you guys, because last but not least, we've got family that's outraged, and I made sure that I wrote this correctly. A family that is outraged as a male who Killed, a postal worker in New York, accepted a plea deal. If you guys remember a few months ago, we reported here that there was altercation that happened in Harlem where two individuals came together and they had a little bit of tiff that went on inside of a bodega. And one of the gentlemen that was dressed like a woman took out a weapon and killed the postal worker. Yes, the family of that person is the family of the postal worker is pretty peed off because this person was allowed to take a plea deal. We're going to get into those titles, but let's get right into what we got because we got some breaking news right now that I want you guys to see. And just to make sure that you guys understand what's going on, Trump, our president, was meeting yesterday with the prime minister of, with the prime minister of Italy yesterday, and he took a couple of questions in the office. I want you guys to check this out and see how this went down. Have a good morning. Also, don't forget to let me know where you're chiming in from. We love to get information and have that ready for you next time you're on the show. Let's go, y'all. Let's go.
They're going closer?
No. Nobody can compete with us. Nobody.
You said that, should you be worried that
No.
they're going closer?
No. Nobody can compete with us. Nobody.
You said that you have a relationship with President Xi. Why not pick up the phone and call him and make a deal?
Oh, we're going to make a deal. We'll have a deal. I think we have
Mr. President?
I think we're going to make a very good deal with China.
Do you plan to reach out to him and call him?
I think that you will see we'll make a very good deal with China.
Mr. President Trump, you told me this morning, Maureen White, a couple of months ago, I like her very much regarding Prime Minister Georgia Meloni. Will she be the one to mediate your relationship with Europe, do you think?
Well, I do like her very much. I think she's a great prime minister. I think she's doing a fantastic job in Italy. We're very proud of her. I knew her right from the beginning. I knew her as a very early prime minister, and I knew she had great talent. She's one of the real leaders of the world, and I'm very proud to be with her. I can't do better than that, right?
Yes, that's fantastic. Okay, we can close the press conference.
We should end the press conference. Yeah, please, go ahead.
Prime Minister, how quickly can you raise your defense spending?
Oh, well, Italy is the son of the nation. Now that they've raised 2%, which was requested.
It'll go up.
Yeah. Yesterday.
It'll go up.
And then Europe, as you know,
It's never enough.
Europe,
It's never.
Europe, as you know, is committed to do more, is working on tools to allow and help the member states in increasing the defense spending. And we are convinced that everyone has to do more.
Prime Minister, are you ready? Are the retaliatory tariffs that were passed before and then suspended still on the table?
No, sorry, please repeat it.
The retaliatory tariffs that the European Commission passed and then suspended, are they still on the table?
What I'm really also trying to show here is now all of the actual countries, the prime ministers, all of the leaders are actually showing up at the White House. Do you see what's actually going on here? My question to you is, do you think that we're going to be able to hold off because these tariffs are really kicking our butts? That's my question to you guys. I'm going to take a little bit more input from this sitting, but I also just really want you guys to pay close attention to the questions that's being asked to the prime minister as well as the questions that's being asked to the president, because a lot of it has to do with the answers to their tariffs. They're asking questions about tariffs right now, and if Italy has any problems with retaliatory tariffs. I don't think that they're going to have any problem once they're sitting there right in front of the president. Again, as you can see, a lot of conversations. Yesterday, the president of Spain was in. Today, we have the prime minister of Italy, who's actually in now.
I'm sure we can make a deal, and I'm here to help on that. I cannot deal in the name of the European Union. My goal would be invite President Trump to pay an official visit to Italy and understand if there's a possibility when he comes to organize also such a meeting with Europe. I think the best way is that we simply speak frankly about the needs that every one of us has and find ourselves in the middle. That's useful for all. Somebody calls me such a Western nationalism. I don't know if it is the right word, but I'm sure that.
And moving right along, we want to go ahead and get to these this situation that I wanted you guys to see about. Now, the White House has been ordered to halt mass deportations. All of the people that have been going over from El Salvador, everybody that we're sending back, guess what? Bozeman is really serious about bringing these people back. He's already put in a contempt of court complaint, and now they're actually filing charges against the administration. We're moving right along, stacking this deck like we always do, guys. Let's go.
One of Donald Trump's key election promises was to begin what he said would be the largest deportation program in American history. Well, that program has set his administration on a collision course with the courts. A US judge has ruled that there is probable cause to find the Trump administration in contempt of court after it violated an order against deporting Venezuelan migrants under an...
I didn't think turmeric worked without black pepper, but then I saw this clip.
The turmeric is oil soluble, which means it's
an obscure wartime law. Judge James Boasberg said that the government had shown willful disregard of his verbal order to turn the deportation flights around. His decision to begin contempt proceedings escalates a clash between the White House and the judiciary over the president's powers. Well, the alleged Venezuelan gang members were sent to a high-security prison in El Salvador. The White House says it will appeal against the latest ruling. John Sudworth reports.
4 weeks ago, President Trump's anti-immigration drive took a new turn. More than 200 people, many of them alleged to be gang members, were loaded onto flights and deported to a maximum security jail in El Salvador. But with the flights already in the air, a dramatic courtroom hearing was unfolding below. Shortly after they took off from Texas, a senior US judge ordered that they be immediately turned around, citing the fact that those on board had been given no opportunity to challenge their removal. Now, the judge, James Boasberg, has issued a stinging rebuke. The government's actions on that day demonstrate a willful disregard for the court's order, he wrote in his latest ruling, concluding that probable cause exists to find the government in criminal contempt.
Criminal contempt.
Last month, President Trump, already angered by the attempts to stop the flights, called for the judge to be dismissed.
But many people have called for his impeachment, the impeachment of this judge. I don't know who the judge is, but he's radical left. He was Obama appointed.
We just turned the murder capital of the world into the safest country.
And earlier this week, he welcomed El Salvador's president to the White House, the two men openly celebrating their deportation agreement.
Well, they'd love to have a criminal, released into
I mean, there's a fascination.
They would love it.
The judge's ruling, though, cited this tweet from Nayib Bukele. Oopsie, too late, he wrote shortly after the planes took off.
The foreign policy of the United States is conducted.
The retweeting of that post by the US Secretary of State Marco Rubio showed, the judge said, not only willful, but gleeful defiance of his order.
Not only that, you just got mad because they got him out of here. You wanted to try to exact your BS non-strength that you really do not have. Judge Boasberg they've already told him that he does not have the power to do what he's trying to do. And to bring back all of these illegal criminals, it makes no sense. I don't know what you guys think about that, but that was stupid. And people like that want to bring back illegal criminals to do crime and harm people, gotta watch out for people like that. You really got to. And I think he should be impeached. I normally don't give my opinion, but now I'm giving my opinion. I'm tired of him already. Now we're gonna see what the White House have to say in response to the judge who found the Trump administration in contempt of court. Well, I'm sorry, criminal contempt of court. Let's see what the White House has to say about this, because it's ridiculous. Let's go. Let's keep on going here.
Hello, and thank you for joining us. A federal judge is calling out the Trump administration for, quote, willful disregard of his court orders. Judge James Boasberg of the D.C. District Court said Wednesday, there is probable cause to find the Trump administration in criminal contempt for defying his order to turn around flights that were involved in deportations under a wartime law known as the Alien Enemies Act. Last month, when President Trump...
Stupid.
3 bold life hacks I wish I knew sooner.
Oh, this is
One,
just crazy.
Get yourself an
I just can't believe it. They want him back.
President Trump invoked the law to send deportees to El Salvador's mega prison. Judge Boasberg...
And these are the people that they want back. Remember that, y'all. These are the people that they want back in the country immediately. Criminal contempt of court. What type of sense does that make? I'm coming to the comments after this.
Ordered the administration to turn the flights around. That did not happen. The White House has gone on to attack Boasberg as a, quote, radical left judge. Kilmar Abrego Garcia was on one of those flights to El Salvador. The White House admits it sent him to that notorious mega prison due to an administrative error. But they have no plans to bring him back to the U.S., despite the Supreme Court saying it must facilitate his return. On Wednesday, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt defended the administration's handling of the case.
Let me reiterate. Kilmar Abrego Garcia is an illegal alien, MS-13 gang member, and foreign terrorist who was deported back to his home country.
CBS News Department of Justice reporter Jake Rosen joins us now. Jake, we have to...
Yeah. Y'all see what's going down. We already got a little bit of information for Trump about the tariffs and everything. We're gonna go back to that because we got a lot on that. Then we got this Boasberg right here who wants all of the illegal criminals back. I want to know what you guys have to say about it. That's all. I just want to see what you guys have to say. VIP Auction Group. Good morning, friends. Said hi. What's going on? What else we got here? We got Kyle says, just like the clown DEI judge, he dropped 1 million to 250 million so that boy family could buy a mansion. I say every single one of these should go to prison, the parents and Carmelo. Okay. What else you got here? You got Bill Andy says the foolishness of these judges demand they be impeached and jailed. Thank you, Bill Andy, for staying on topic and dropping a bomb. Car Care says nobody voted for that judge. Nobody. Car Care says fire that judge. Exactly, and I'm with you. Mad Hatter says Trump and Marco ready to pull out from Russia. Ukraine deal making them just play games. Okay, somebody gave up some dough. We're going to appreciate that $1.99 from Kyle, and we're going to try to definitely say your comment right now. Send Carmelo Anthony to El Salvador. Wow. Okay. Old driver. Wait a minute. I'm going to say it again. Kyle said, send Carmelo Anthony to El Salvador. And he's got 6 likes on that comment. Old driver says, ciao Bella. Christina says, love seeing our president awake and working. You mean not like Sleepy Joe? Joe, you're doing a press conference. What the hell's going on with this guy? Wake up! Steamy and Sloth says, can you say steamy? Bill Andy already said it for you, homie. Mad Hatter out in the sticks by Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Debbie's in California. Andrew is in Albuquerque. Car Care, yo, I saw Stone Cold Steve Austin threaten Trump at WWE. That was all fake. That was fake, y'all. We got to keep on moving now because finally, people are seeing my vision. They're understanding, and I'm so happy. It's like the moment for me, Bugatti NYC. Because the Jokul, Kathy Jokul Hochul, our governor, is finally being seen for the jokester that she is. I'm literally going to start making t-shirts now that's going to say, Kathy Jokul Hochul. It's going to have that logo, and we're going to have the merch with her just like that because she's truly representing who she is. I got to just tell you guys, I'm so happy about this situation. We've got Ellie Stefanik that's going to be running against her because Jokul is trash. Theft of services, theft from citizens, allegedly, not acceptable. She has proven herself to be a non-reliable as well as misinformed to what New York City constituents and people need. I wrote this very specifically. I'm not playing with this. What up? It's truly about, I will be recording this video, this one right here, keeping this as proof because of what's finally being said about theft. That means that if we're paying for roads and federal funding, for that money goes for road. I'm sorry, if we're paying taxes for Fed, that goes to roads. How come we're paying another $9 for every car that goes through 60th Street? That is theft. And then the money is going to the train stations, right? To the MTA, right? I say this, if they do get rid of congestive pricing, if they do overturn congestive pricing, I think that every person that got their money taken from them through the Easy Pass should be refunded all of their money. And I don't think that we should be quiet until this happens. You hear what I'm telling you? If congestion pricing is reversed and they take it out of here, I think that the people of New York that were charged should get all of their money back because they're already up to about $100 million. Give them their damn money back. let's get into this clip right here. I'm serious about this one right here because I cannot stand this. I'm not even going to call her a governor. She's terrible. That's what she is.
Stefanik is considering a run for New York governor. She's already making the case for New York Congresswoman Elise Stefanik is considering a run for New York governor. She's already making the case for a GOP win in 2026, saying, quote, Hochul is the worst governor in America. Her incompetence, corruption, and radical failed far-left policies have destroyed our great state, causing businesses and families to flee. President Trump seemingly getting behind the idea, posting on Truth Social, Congresswoman Elise Stefanik is great. And there's brand new polling from Marist finding less than 40% of New Yorkers approve of Hochul, and more than half of residents do.
There's only one thing wrong with this picture, and I tell all of news, never show her face without her makeup and her without the correct garb, because that's what she is. She's garb. You are terrible.
Do not want her to run again.
Wait, this is music to my ears. This is literally a clip perfectly for me. So I understand you guys are also watching, but I need to hear this again.
From Marist, finding less than 40% of New Yorkers approve of Hochul, and more than half of residents do not want her to run again. Let's bring in New York State Assemblyman Jake Blumenkrantz. Assemblyman, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me, Cheryl.
So what do you make of this idea of Elise Stefanik running for governor of New York?
To me, it sounds like a fantastic idea. We got a great crowd of candidates who are potentially going to be running this year or in the next election. We need to see leadership that actually listens to New Yorkers. We've seen crime on the rise. We have a holy trinity in here in New York. We have housing crisis, a migrant crisis, a cost of living crisis that's killing everybody. And Governor Hochul's touting new taxes. Right now we have $250 billion budget here in New York we're negotiating at this very moment, and it is a disaster. It is good money after bad, and it continues to hurt New Yorkers without creating solutions. I think she'd make a fantastic candidate, and she stood up against anti-Semitism when others simply wouldn't.
What I have a hard time of understanding, and I've lived here over 20 years, is that New York City is the economic engine for the state of New York. I mean, that's where the revenue, the tax revenue is coming in. Yet, the people that you're working with in Albany, on the other side of the aisle, unfortunately, seem to have something against the city of New York. They've done nothing to stop, whether it was subway crime or this congestion pricing disaster. What is the culture in Albany, and why is it like this?
You have a few factions. You have the socialists, you have the Democrats, and you have the Republicans. The socialists have been dictating the conversations throughout the past couple of years since they've taken a supermajority here. They have prioritized taking money from some New Yorkers, giving it to others, spending with no end in sight. It's a race to the left with no finish line.
Well, so you sued to end congestion pricing in New York City. The Trump administration is standing by. They put down this April 20th deadline for the city to end the toll. I'm not sure that's going to happen, though. The New York Post Marina Devine reports that Hochul actually threatened President Trump during an Oval Office meeting on congestion pricing. She warned that she has control of state judges, as the president, as we know, is attempting to appeal his nearly $500 million fraud penalty.
So now she threatened the president, saying, I will get these judges to go ahead and press against that fraud case that you got going on. She threatened them. Governor Jokul Hochul threatened Trump, right? And then they were supposed to get rid of the congestion pricing last month on the 21st. You know what they said? Oh, we're going to give them another 30 days. You know why? Because they want the pipeline to come through, so they was thinking about negotiating with her. Don't never think about negotiating with a mad thunder that has no idea from her ass, from her elbow. She don't know what the hell she doing. And there's a lot of other people in positions in the administration in New York that are keeping our city the way it is right now.
Governor's press secretary responded and said this: Governor Hochul has never said this or anything similar to President Trump or anyone. Someone must have completely misheard the governor during this conversation, or they're purposely lying to advance a political agenda.
Meanwhile, when she found out that her lieutenant governor was thinking about running against her, she took away his assistants, took away his cell phone, moved him out of the mansion, and just basically stopped sending information to him. Yeah, okay, you didn't say that. You didn't say this.
What's your reaction to that?
I am taking Governor Hochul to federal court on behalf of the people of my district and New York, because this congestion pricing needs to end. Secretary Duffy had a mandate within his order that they have to turn off.
I've been trying to configure this field for an hour, but this CRM sucks. Maybe it's time to...
the cameras. They have to give relief to New Yorkers. Duffy had a mandate within his order that they have to turn off the cameras. They have to give relief to New Yorkers. This is
when they say the relief part, that's the part that I'm saying that people need their money back. Because if you turn them off, that means it was wrong. Don't just say, okay, we're going to turn the cameras off, let everybody go their merry way. No, money back. Money, 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 money. Refund. Get it right back from the source that took it from them. So if you got to source it and get it back from the train station people, get it back from them and give it to the people.
is double taxation. It is...
double taxation. This is the part that I said I got to record. I don't give a damn if it's on Fox. It's the truth. Whoever's in the comments talking about the location and where we getting this information from, do me a favor. Meet me at the airport. Get my bags. I might be there.
Of my district and New York, because this congestion pricing needs to end. Secretary Duffy had a mandate within his order that they have to turn off the cameras. They have to give relief to New Yorkers. This is double taxation. It is ridiculous to think that this is a solution to the MTA. I started this mission against congestion pricing and the MTA because there is no forensic audit with oversight from the body that provides them billions of dollars a year. They spend an absorbent amount of money. They have a 70,000 person staff, and we continue to have a lack of oversight, and that needs to change.
The trains are always late. They never care about if you're on time or anything to go to work. You know what I say to the conductor? Psh, you don't care. You already at work. Because it's the truth. They be in there like, hi, 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 Bobby, hi, hi, hi. They don't care. People be fighting all types of crazy stuff. Ain't no police down there. We got a terrible sense of community, especially in a train station. Anything happen, people just go like this. Just do like this. It's terrible. Now, guess what? We stacked the deck enough. I want to see what you guys have to say about this. What's going on in here? Let's go. What we got? Okay, Yo Mama said hi. What Steve? What we got? The witness like child exploitation. We got a whole bunch of spamming going on. What we got? Let's get some people out of here. Let's get some people out of here, y'all. Let's get them out of here. Let me know who's leaving, y'all. I see a lot of people playing. Mr. Good Citizen, whoever's up in here. Let's start throwing some names up for me to get them out of here. All right, sorry, what, Mr. Good Citizen? I don't understand. What we got? Deport Democrats. We got that from Car Care. What we got from VIP Auction Group? Smash that like button and subscribe. What else we got? Zach says, Unc, I hope you didn't quit your day job for YouTube. Boom, out of here. Not playing no game this morning. If you're a boss or a landlord, RIP. It's all about knives. Somebody said, I'm a hell of a shot. What else? What else we got? Trump needs to bite me. Letitia James needs to keep working. Okay, you can say that. Go ahead and get yours off. Wax Fur says, and we know how to use them. What else we got? A Money, no stop watching. No stop watching the views. I don't know what you're talking about. What else we got? You can just go too because you're playing. We're going to get a lot of people that's playing up out of here. They don't even know that they're leaving. What else we got? And we know how to use them. What else we got? What else we got? What else we got? What else we got? I'm on a wave right now. I'm trying to get this business going, trying to get you guys informed. I want to know who's got some feedback. We got Mr. Good Citizens that says Congressional Democrats approval rating is 22%. There we go. Thank you, Mr. Good Citizen, for staying on point. And how does Trump still have supporters? I understand what you're saying about that. I can't see what your name says. It says no, because yesterday there's a lot of people that I was speaking to that actually don't feel the same way. I'm going to be honest with you guys. A lot of people giving pushback now. Black says Orange Man good. What else we got here? We got Bill Andy. This congestive press pricing in New York City is a straight up money grab. There you go. Thank you so much for understanding, Bill Andy, like you always do. And that's why you're here. Really appreciate you guys. Now we got President Trump, who's going to be taking some questions in the Oval Office as he meets with the Italian Prime Minister. He's going to be responding to tariffs in a couple of different situations. Woo, that was energy driven right there. Boy, I'm sweating bullets on that one because I really feel this. Oh, you know what? Oh, we got some more. We're going to let the rest of this play out because this is my city. I want you guys to notice something too. I want to explain something to you why this clip is up. Hopefully you can see these cameras right here. Now imagine your main street, whatever town you live in and whatever city you live in. If you're in Dallas, you're going through a certain street. If you're in Los Angeles, you're in Hollywood and Vine. Let's say if you're in St. Louis, you're walking, you're going up a street, like by the park, you know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden, 2 days, all of a sudden some camera pop out and says, when you cross this street, you got to pay $9. I ain't talking about $1, 50 cents, $2. No, 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 no. Not no regular toll. $9. And if you don't have Easy Pass, it's $14. You do the math. Let's say if you don't want to ride the train and get knocked in your head and you don't like being all close up on people, like myself. If I do sit down, I don't like when a man comes sit next to me and want to be all tight up in that two-seater. I don't do thigh on thigh. I get up. And they be like, what's up? I be like, no, you got, and I ain't even gonna lie. I say it to them. Oh, I don't do thigh on thigh, you good. Because I want them to understand that, because you need to learn. Somebody already sitting in the two-seater, just let them sit there. You stand your ass up. Ain't no room for you, homeboy. You normally like people rubbing up on your thigh. I got 50-inch shoulders, believe it or not. 50. Just my shoulders alone take up the seat. So I don't like to be thigh on thigh with another guy. How about that? Let's get the rest of this clip out.
We need to see where the money's going before we keep throwing good money after bad towards the MTA without providing safety. You're going to get pushed in front of the subway. You don't feel safe when you're on the subway. That needs to change.
Fare evasion.
Fare
the
evasion.
Simplest things they don't know how to handle. And now, instead of having mental institutions here in the city, the subway is now the mental institution of the city.
Unfortunately, New York continues to create bad policies without replacing them with good ones.
Yeah.
And don't let people lie to you, y'all. People in New York are broke. We just know how to front. I'm broke too. Y'all think we got bread? No, 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 no. Let me show you something. You know what's good about us? We know how to fake it. We good at faking it. We over here bleeding out. I got this little thing that I always say. Life is like a shark tank. You got to know how to move with other sharks. And guess what? When you get bit, they normally come for you because they determine weakness. So the trick in life is what? For me, know how to move even when you're bleeding. Know how to defend yourself even when you're bleeding out. That's how life is for me. I live in the real state of New York. Real talk. This is not a suit. This is a uniform in my city. We're going to keep on going, y'all, because like I said, Trump is going to take questions in the Oval Office as he meets with the Italian Prime Minister. Let's keep on going, y'all. Let's keep going. We got work to do. We got a deck to keep on stacking. We don't care about the people that's playing games. We getting it cracking. Let's go. Let's keep going.
Change your mind potentially about tariffs and what you plan to do going forward?
He said what? They said what changed your mind about tariffs and halting the tariffs? This is April 17th, which is yesterday. What changed your mind about, the 60-day pause on tariffs? That's what they're asking.
No, tariffs are making us rich. We were losing a lot of money under Biden, trillions of dollars, trillions on trade. And now that whole tide has turned. We're making a lot of money. We're taking in a lot of money. Don't forget, we're taking in 25% on cars, 25% on steel, 25% on aluminum, 10% baseline.
Okay, so we got 151 people in the building. We got 31 likes. This is the part where I ask you guys, do you like what's going on here? Do you appreciate the content? Anytime I'm somewhere longer than 5 minutes, that means I like where I am, or I'm stuck in a bad relationship, to be honest with you. So what I'm gonna ask you guys to do right now, so I don't have to interrupt these clips anymore, double tap that screen. Let's get those likes up to at least about 80. We have the power to do it because we got enough people here. I really appreciate that. That shows everybody here, moderators, all of the people that actually come every day, that you actually appreciate the content that we're putting up. We get up at 3 to pull this content as well. Proof it all the way to 6 o'clock in the morning when we start our show, and then we run until the clips are done. And that's how we do it here. So we really appreciate if you guys show your appreciation. If you appreciate it, go ahead and tap that screen. What that does is it gets more people over here. A lot of people don't say that. They always say like, share, and subscribe. I don't say that. I actually tell you why I'm asking you to like, because it sends up the boop, lets everybody know that we're over here, and it brings more people over. You don't believe me? Go ahead and double tap that screen, make that light go up. You're gonna see my proof by somebody coming in here saying, so what's going on over here? That happened because you guys hit that like button and more people came over. Now, I don't ask for too much money because I know it's real. We're talking about tariffs. We're talking about people being broke. I mean, come on now, we can't even afford congestive pricing. I understand that, but the likes are free. That's why I appreciate you guys, and I hope that you appreciate me. So all I do is ask you to show me that by double tapping that screen, and thank you so much. I don't like to stop the clips. I like you guys to get well informed because most of the time I have to go back. So that's why I want to make sure you guys are getting what you got to get. So let's go.
Tariffs are making us rich. We were losing a lot of money under Biden, trillions of dollars, trillions on trade. And now that whole tide has turned. We're making a lot of money. We're taking in a lot of money. Don't forget, we're taking in 25% on cars, 25% on steel, 25% on aluminum, 10% baseline. We put penalties on China for sending us fentanyl. We put penalties on Mexico and Canada, 25% for allowing fentanyl and allowing the borders to be weak. Now we're taking in billions and billions of dollars while I sit here and talk to you. And we didn't take in anything before other than the tariffs that I put on previous to Biden, which were the tariffs I put on China, where we took in up until this point probably $700 billion. They were Trump tariffs. He tried to weaken them. He did everything he could. You know, he got paid money by China, right? The family got paid money. He did. And so I don't know, maybe that was the reason or maybe it wasn't, but he tried to weaken them, but he couldn't because there was so much money that his budgets, you know, they couldn't stand not doing it. But I took in the, up till this point, my tariffs on China. Nobody ever took in 10 cents from China. No other president took in 10 cents. I took in more than $700 billion from China. So we're doing very well. I mean, our country is doing very well. They had a bad report today from one of the healthcare companies that had an impact on the stock market. But this isn't about that. This is really, we're building a base. We're building a country like no other. And again, I had the strongest economy in the history of our country by far, history of any country probably, but the history of our country in 4 years. And I think this has a chance to be much better.
Can you just clarify on the mineral field? Will that be signed here at the White House with Ukraine on Thursday? Will President Zelensky be coming?
All right, y'all. So that's basically what's going on with tariffs. What we always do when we talk about stuff like this, when we get to this point, we're talking about tariffs. We're talking right here. This is where we are right now. We're in the boat, right? It's still rocky. It's still murky, but I don't know how long we can stay in this boat because I know a lot of people. I'm not gonna lie to you. A lot of people yesterday were talking about. They were actually talking about impeaching Trump. There was words and hints about impeaching Trump due to the fact that tariffs are hurting so many people. So I don't know if that's a suggestion that we're going to hear in the near future, but there's a lot of people that are giving major pushback because they're feeling it, like the bite, the punch. A lot of people are saying that they can't survive any longer under what's happening. Let me know what you guys think. I'm coming to the comments to see what you guys think about this topic right here. Let's go. Well, we got Car Care says Trump 2028. Well, we got y'all says $2.99 gas in suburban Chicago, $2.99. Oh, Reformista says money that is all Trump's is dreaming of. Aaron says LOL. What you got in here? What else we got? We got Corey that says, what part of Africa do you dream of going to? Trump will help you out, of course, but you can't stay here, of course. I would love to go anywhere right about now because this country is crazy, so I don't know. Edward says, I don't know what's going on with everyone else. What else you got here? Kyler says, hush, hush, the liar is speaking. Ooh. Edward says, $2.60 a gallon in Maine and making more money than I ever have in my life. Okay. Maine is making money, and that's a red state, ain't it? Black says, great to see the Italian prime minister go to Trump. I hope Trump speaks out about Hungary. Okay, Kyle says $3.99 a gallon here in Washington State. Well, that's pretty expensive. Hefe says, when it starts affecting my pockets, I'll be upset. But I don't care about tariffs and illegals. MS-13 immigrants. You don't care about them. Okay, y'all dropping bombs right now. I really appreciate you staying on topic, too. That's why I'm saying all y'all stuff. Okay, Edward says before Trump, it was $3.20 a gallon. Oh, Dave says taking in billions of dollars but losing trillions in stock market and retirement. Okay, all right, appreciate that comment right there. O says hi. How you doing, O? Edward says $2.60 a gallon. Here, I seen that. Ain't see that in a while. Everything else is too. Okay, y'all. Y'all reporting back on them tariffs. I see that that's something very important, and I love to give you guys that information because tariffs is something that we've been speaking about very strongly. Now, I want you guys to check out what's going on in New York under Kathy Hochul. While she's worrying about ripping people off, congestive pricing and nonsense, and putting in this, the sanitation commissioner as the police commissioner, we got 10 new police officers, 10 correctional officers who's been charged with the beating and KILLing of Messiah Natwi. This was one of the inmates that was in prison that you guys may have heard about that lost his life. He got beat to death. Here we go. This is what happened. And now all 10 of them are being charged. This is in the state of New York where I'm at.
Involving the New York State prison system, 10 correction officers now face criminal charges, including murder in the beating death of a young man from Harlem named Messiah Natwi. It happened at Mid-State Correctional Facility last month, and 10 other officers are accused in a separate deadly assault caught on video at nearby Marcy Prison in December. Investigative reporter Sarah Wallace has been covering these cases. She joins us live with the latest. Sarah?
Well, and Gilma, the description in the indictment as to how Messiah Natwi died was horrific. What we learned a short time ago from the special prosecutor is that there is some body camera footage, but many of the officers weren't wearing them as required or deliberately disabled them.
This afternoon in the Oneida County Courthouse in Utica, New York, 10 correction officers appeared to face a variety of criminal charges related to the beating death of 22-year-old Messiah Natwi at Mid-State Correctional Facility on March 1st. All were handcuffed and pleaded not guilty.
The grand jury of the County of Oneida, by this indictment, accuses Mr. Levy of the felony crime of murder in the second degree.
2 officers are accused of second-degree murder as the top count, along with other charges. Their bail, $100,000 cash. In all, 5 officers are accused of manslaughter, others with gang assault and making false statements to cover up the crime. The indictment saying defendants began beating Messiah Natwi, including multiple strikes to his body and head with their boots.
It was determined by the Onondaga County Medical Examiner that Mr. Natwi died from traumatic brain injuries as a result of violent blows to his head, as well as at least 69 other serious blows about his body.
One inmate I spoke with by phone told me what he saw that day.
Amount of times I was open already. Guns blazing. And then they all file in the room, start beating on him, kicking him. And he's just saying, please stop. I'm like, I didn't do anything, please stop.
Some of the officers are accused of falsely claiming Natwi had a weapon and then mopping up the blood to destroy evidence. What's so disturbing is that Natwi's death was the second in 3 months in a New York State prison. Body-worn cameras investigators say officers did not know was rolling, shows them viciously beating 43-year-old Robert Brooks at nearby Marcy Correctional Facility in early December.
Stories like this get no play. Stories like this get no numbers. This video right here is on a major network. They got 1,300 plays. Why? Because of somebody in jail? You think that's right? You think it's fair? That's why we play it on Our Bottom Line, because we don't have that big of a platform, but I'm damn sure going to play it and get it out, let you guys see what's going on.
10 are facing murder and manslaughter charges in Brooks's case. I spoke with his father.
These officers get some kind of twisted, distorted pleasure from beating on other human beings. That is sick. That's savage.
A similar reaction from Natwi's maternal aunt who helped raise him. I spoke with her this afternoon. Her message, throw the book at all of them. They've been getting away with this for too long. And Governor Hochul just released a statement calling the case tragic, saying that she has directed DOC's Commissioner General Marticello to begin the termination process for all of those involved.
She also needs to resign herself because she needs to pay more attention to what's going on upstate and in those correctional facilities, and making sure that the correctional officers are vetted much better. And also they're getting overworked like crazy. One officer said, look, 24 hours is nothing for us. 8-hour shift, you'll never get an 8-hour shift in New York being a correctional officer, not even a trainee. They get 16 minimum. So you're overworking them, they're crazy stressed out, and they in there without nobody really watching over them. You think the head of the jail is really watching them? They're not really watching what they're doing. I was in a little situation one time for about 30 days, and when I went to leave, big cop like that walks up to you and says, okay, put your hands on the wall. Think you're about to get searched and put some cuffs on you? No. They take their hand and they smack you in the back of your back and say, don't never come back. You break your fall and you fall on the ground. Big correctional officers taking advantage of people. Why? Because you're already arrested. That's crazy, and it's not right. And guess what? Now we got another major lawsuit that's coming out. Both of them are going to get a ton of money from who? People like us, because people like that is working in the correctional facilities. And Kathy Joku Hoku, who needs to continue to stay in her garb as well as all her facial makeup every time we see her. She needs to actually start adopting this look. Put on the Joker outfit, put on makeup, because that's what you are to my state, the Joker, and you need to leave. Keeping it moving, we got 20 alleged gang members that's been indicted from the Bronx. Oh, more going on in New York? It ain't stopping. It's keeping on going on because why? We have no police. They do whatever they want. If you don't see a police car ride by and you're a criminal, you can do whatever you want. Break in a jewelry store, mess with this lady that's walking right here, and even if you get locked up, they're gonna let you out. So what's the problem? And if you beat up one of them, defend yourself, maybe pow them, you're going to jail for defending yourself. How dare you defend yourself in New York against a criminal trying to rob you or hurt you? You better run. Care if you have no weapon, you better run. Okay, let's go. What we got here? Bill Andy says, your governor is a fool in New York. It is a shame because New York City is a good city. The people are good. These politicians are the poison. What else we got? I would never live in New York. Sorry, but I love where I live here in Tennessee. And you are a very smart person. Do not get caught up in all of that. I want to go to New York. It's so nice. I want to see what the food is like. I'm tired of my cousins and them calling me saying that. Come stay here for a week. And I ain't taking you to none of those attractions. I'm taking you somewhere real. Let's go. Let's keep on going. What we got up in here? What we got? Also, we might have 6 years before super artificial intelligence drops. So a mathematician and a Tim Paul both are the option of 6 years. If things don't change, the AI might take over. Oh my God. What we got? Miss Mad Hatter says El Salvador treats detainees much more humanely. Okay, let's keep on going. We got Casey that says we get taxed twice. We pay their salary and then we have to pay again because of the lawsuits that come from their horrific acts. There you go, horrid acts. There you go, Casey, dropping another bomb all the time. What else we got? We got Bill Andy. No, you already said that bomb. Flig says facts. I'm glad someone is finally shedding light on this. That's right. Car Care says it's the criminals that get justice paid. Aaron says prisons for profit are to blame. That's right, because they want to keep them in there so they can make that money because they're on the stock market. Prisons for profit is on the stock market. And you damn right about that, what y'all just said. What else you got right here? You got he was in my backyard. Dr. King, Wax said, that's where my biz lizard went. You stupid. Aaron says, it's extremely sick and savage. El Salvador. We're going to keep on going, y'all. Y'all think it's over? Y'all know better. We do this every day. 20 alleged gang members indicted from the Bronx. Why? Because we got this as the governor, and our commissioner, our police commissioner, her name is Tish. She was the sanitation commissioner. Do you understand what I'm telling you? The seriousness of what I'm telling you. Commissioner Tish last year, go look it up. She was the commissioner for sanitation. Now she's the police commissioner. So if you were a police officer trying to get rank, busting your butt all of these years, and guess what happens? DEI. Hey, let's put this person as your boss. Guess what happens? People are like, you know what? I quit. I'm going to Florida. It's not even worth it. I actually get better pay in another state because of my background and what I got going on. You know how many of our police officers left? You know what they got going on in the train station now in New York? They got advertisements for other states for police officers. Not New York. Atlanta is advertising for police officers because they know that the police officers here don't want to be here. You get beat up on, you get disrespected. Now let's defend some of the good cops. You get beat up on, You can't really do nothing to defend yourself, because if you do, you're gonna get sued. If you lock somebody up, that's how you get rank, right? You get ranked by locking people up. But if you got a liberal judge that keep letting everybody out, what's the use of locking people up if every time you lock somebody up, they wind up right back on the street and you can't get your rank and you're a good cop? This is the thing that we got going on in New York. 20 alleged gang members indicted from the Bronx. I don't go to the Bronx. I don't go to Brooklyn. All y'all people talking about, yo, Brooklyn, I know y'all gonna be mad at me. I know y'all are. I stay my butt in Manhattan. I don't talk too much about it. I stay in one borough by the businesses and the businesses and stuff that's going on. Because when you start to go into these other little boroughs and other places, it gets a little shifty. Check this out, what's going on in the Bronx, especially in Mott Haven and over by where this happened at and continues to keep happening at. Watch this.
Alleged gang members now off the streets of the Bronx, all of them accused of terrorizing the West Farms neighborhood. Suspects connected to one murder and more than a dozen shootings. More gun insanity that investigators say put innocent people in the line of fire.
If you have no police on the street, I'm not a snitch. I'm a rapper. I do all of that, hip hop. I'm nice. I'm dope. But I want y'all to live. I want people to live. I don't rap about people. None of that. I rap that I'm hard. I rap about certain stuff. I use my voice because I know it's there. I don't have to pow pow and all of that in my rhymes. I don't drill rap. I can, but I don't want to, because drilling means illin. It means, drill means K-I-Illin. I don't want to represent anything like that at all. I'm about life. Represent life, you live long. How about that? How about that? Don't hang around criminals and people that got guns, because you might be the one that be the victim of one. Don't hang around criminals and people that got guns, because you might be the victim of one. Yeah, for real.
Eyewitness News reporter NJ Griffin live in Mott Haven with the story. Newt?
Right, Bill, Mott Haven, one of 3 neighborhoods here in the Bronx, where police patrols have been stepped up in recent weeks. West Farms, as you mentioned, is another one. Places where innocent bystanders have been at risk. There are neighborhoods in the Bronx where shootings are on the rise. Mott Haven, Fordham, and West Farms, where gunfire sends bystanders diving for cover in the middle of the afternoon.
They allegedly threatened the lives of school children, shoppers, along with anyone who walked down the street in daytime.
Bronx DA Darcel Clark announced the indictment of 20 alleged gang members who terrorized residents in West Farms for over 4 years, whether it was kids on a playground or a family standing on a street corner.
Video footage shows the gunman shooting over the family.
And notice how he had the mask on, the shiesty. It's called a shiesty. I'm blowing y'all spot up. I don't even care. Why would I want to look out for people that's doing stupid stuff like that, shooting next to kids, right? Yo, Bugatti, I thought you was rapper. I thought, man, get out of here. Get my bags and meet me at the airport. There's children there. That's in front of a school. And they just ran up and pulled out because they want to be known as being hard, and they'll do it in the daytime. Whatever. We don't care with people around. Broad daylight. Like, what? Yeah, that's why people like this, take him, even if he's 16 years old, send him to El Salvador with all of them crazy, them MS-13 drug members, send him out there. Send him out there by himself, right? And then let him be made an example of, and just keep a camera on him all the time so all of them can see what's going on with his back, with his ass. And another thing, shiesty masks, it should be already outlawed. Anytime you got a mask on your face, if COVID is over, it ain't cold, pull them over. Oh, but y'all, what do they call it? Racial profiling me. No, we mass profiling you. What do you have on a mask for anyway? What are you doing outside? Come over here. That's what needs to happen. But guess what? There's no police. So things like this happen when they get comfortable.
Their faces filled with fear and one child clinging to an adult for protection.
There were riders waiting to catch a bus, or even young men waiting for a haircut. When one gang member fires at the man in the barber chair, the intended target calmly picks up his own gun and returns fire, sending people into a panic on the street.
These defendants allegedly shot at rival gangs without any regard for the innocent bystanders caught in between them in the line of fire. In one incident, they shot a man in the head and killed him.
The suspects are alleged to be members of 800 YGZ, a notorious street gang in West Farms. 5 of their 9 handguns were linked to 24 other shootings in the Bronx and Upper Manhattan. NYPD Commissioner Jessica Tisch says most have been arrested before.
No. I want you, and another thing too, I'm just going to put it out there because I don't like her as much as I don't like Kathy Hochul. I haven't found a character for her yet. Kathy Hochul, she's already going to keep that character. But Tish, I'm just going to say it. That's a very unattractive looking person right there. It looked like the possibility of someone's neck throwing up, and that's the result of the face. Y'all, I know. Y'all going to leave and y'all mad at me. I know. I apologize, but that's how I feel about it. I'm sorry. I just do not like these people, and I just don't think that she needs to be in that position, and she pees me off.
4 for serious crimes.
14 times for gun possession. They've been arrested for robbery on 34 separate occasions. And 8 of the 20 indicted individuals have fired a gun at least 3 times.
Now look up Police Commissioner Tisch and tell me if I'm lying about her being the commish of the garbage sanitation department. Now she's the commissioner of the police. And look at her face. Ooh, that face. Like, ooh, Respucia in the white version. Or maybe the white girls with the makeup looking like Marlon, but as a female. Like, come on.
This is what recidivism looks like in real life.
And half of the suspects are teenagers.
These young people are getting younger and younger. One of the individuals involved in the homicide was 15 years old.
No home training, no class, no pride, no respect. Nobody was whooping their ass when they was growing up. Me, my mother would tear my butt up, even if she caught me later. People in the street would be like, yo, I'm telling your mom, son. What? Us? That's why, like, look, shiesty mask, automatic, need to pull them over. And it needs to be banned, especially in certain parts of New York and in the Bronx. Let them know that. There's already certain parts of Brooklyn that they won't even let them in the stores, Target and places like that. You can't even be in a store if you're not accompanied by an adult. This is what's going on in New York. And we got the best of the best. We got Kathy Hochul, and we got the worst of the worst, Commissioner Tisch. And I want to see what you guys got to say about this. Okay, what y'all got? Thug Nasty says, bro, willing to give up civil rights over a shiesty mask. What else you got over here? Yeah, hell with that. Human, yes, I wonder where the guns came from. Kristen says, this some BS. Why are they not locked the hell up? Like I said, throw them back on the active fool and get that court money. Time and charge them like adults. Chad C says, I think the NRA awesome. Let's all have guns. I love New York City gun laws. I thought no, because we can't even get no guns. I see what you're saying, Chad C. Now, if we don't have no criminal record, don't have no problems, you know what they do? They put obstacles in front of us to have guns. I ain't got no felonies. I've never been locked up for nothing like that before. I go down to one police plaza, fill out this paperwork. You fill out the paperwork. And then you go in there and they got this black door with like tinted windows. You come there with the paperwork. They're like, yeah, just take it or leave it here and let me tell you something. They do not want citizens to be able to defend themselves. And if you mess around and defend yourself, you're going to go to jail. Bottom line. If you win, you're going to lose in New York. Trust me, I've knocked out a bunch of people that be like, yo, don't worry, I ain't going to do nothing. I ain't going to tell. Next thing you know, you fighting, boop, bat. It was him pointing at you with the police right there. I'm like, yo, what? I thought, and they jumped me. Who's they? It was just me. Oh, I heard what you said. Let's go. So how you think I know the sound so good? Because I used to get locked up for stupid stuff all the time. But now, do whatever you want. Walk out in the street, do something crazy, chase people. You can chase police now. Like they literally chasing behind the police, antagonize them, reaching for their gun and all of that. They don't have no respect for NYPD out here. Are y'all serious? Come on now.
Now, under state law, most teenage offenders go to family court and never go to prison, which explains, of course, many of those prior arrests. Prosecutors tell me that is not likely to happen this time. Live tonight in the Bronx, NJ Burkett, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
This
is Google Pixel 9.
And that's only if they're going to get charged as adults. Let's be real about it. Talking about this won't happen in this case. You're not the liberal judge. You're not the judge that's going to be that's going to be presiding over these kids' cases. They're going to be in there like, oh, we're going to be doing better. You know, it's bad in the neighborhood. We had a tough upbringing. Okay, give them 6 months. Right back on the street 6 months later doing the same thing again, talking about, yo, I did a drill. Everything was real. I'm back after 6 months. Everything is kill. Yeah, and talking about it. Oh, yeah, I got out. And then everybody on the street's like, yeah. We can't wait for him to come out. Free little doom. Free little thunt. Meanwhile, thunt done did mad stuff to people. That's why every time I be like, yo, I never got with that crowd of wearing people t-shirts and free this person. Let me ask you a question. What did they do? Oh, well, he only blah, 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 blah. He used to get busy, whatever like that. So you mean to tell me y'all out here wearing t-shirts for this person that actually KILL somebody and talking about free them? The mindset is ridiculous. And we're going to keep on moving right along because we got this fentanyl trafficking situation where there was a bust in Georgia where thousands of pills were seized. 11 people were sentenced to hundreds of months. Let's go on over to Atlanta because y'all be acting crazy too. Come on, Atlanta. Come to the front of the congregation, Georgia. Come on over to the front of the line.
White House. As you know, the administration is doing a lot, as they're saying, in these last few months to crack down on the import of illegal drugs into the United States. And we now know that 11 defendants have been sentenced for their role in a conspiracy to traffic fentanyl from the Mexico border to Idaho. We heard in a press conference earlier today.
My bad. Idaho's this one. The next one is Atlanta because y'all acting up out here. So yes, Idaho. I'm saying to myself, it's never nothing going to happen in Idaho. What they doing out there, making potatoes and corn? Guess what? The drug traffickers are smart. They think the same way. Let's go out there because they're not expecting us.
Some of the details of that arrest. Let's listen in here on Live Now.
Sentenced to 140 months in prison. Arafat Ramirez, 43 of Jerome, was sentenced to 140 months in prison. Brandon Aaron Dana, 37 of Leodore, was sentenced to 120 months in prison. Tina Jane Morris, 46 of Pocatello, was sentenced to 97 months in prison.
I always say this to myself, there's no way in the world I'm gonna get this ripe old age of and get locked up and do no jail time like that. That was when you was 19, 15, 14, not even then. But these people right here, come on now, you 47 years old, about to do like 10, 15 years. Is it worth it? Come on, you thought you wasn't gonna get locked up?
Sammy Davy Martinez, 49 of Nampa, was sentenced to 78 months in prison. Jamie Lee Coltrane, 36 of Rupert, was sentenced to 48 months in prison. Jenica Ann Johnson, 31 of Pocatello, was sentenced to 48 months in prison. Daniel Ross Coltrane, 40 of Paul, was sentenced to 25 months in prison. Rosa Ramirez, 64 of Jerome, was sentenced to 24 months in prison. Rachel Dixon, 36 of Boise, was sentenced to 3 years probation. And Layla Vanessa Ramirez Martinez, 35 of Jerome, was sentenced to 2 years of probation. I commend the outstanding investigative efforts of the Idaho State Police, the Drug Enforcement Administration, the sheriff's offices from Ada, Twin Falls, Minidoka, and Cassia County.
This was over 200 pounds of fentanyl. So many lives saved in this one, y'all. This is a grand bust right here, and they thought that they can go through Idaho and do it. Now check this out. We're going to keep on going because another bust where the federal authorities announced a major drug bust in this one.
Federal authorities unsealed
Atlanta.
2 indictments revealing charges for drug trafficking and money laundering against a group of people federal agents say are working for the cartels. That includes 5 people in Norcross who were just arrested this afternoon. News Edge reporter Alexa Liaco is live from Norcross Police Department headquarters with more. So Alexa, this was a huge multi-agency effort.
It certainly was, and local and law enforcement agencies like this one, the DEA, Homeland Security, even the IRS, all worked together to seize more fentanyl today that could kill more than 23 million Americans, about 100 pounds, they said. And the agents that we spoke with today said this is only a small part of a much larger operation.
Good one, y'all. Good one. Fentanyl.
Investigation wasn't just about stacking up seizures. It was about taking out the decision makers.
Agents from multiple law enforcement agencies gathered to announce a huge bust they hope will keep deadly drugs off the streets here in Georgia.
DEA and law enforcement uncovered a scheme involving drug traffickers delivering bulk currency from drug sales to a middleman in Norcross. The middleman then allegedly delivered the drug proceeds to defendants Sandra Chalil and her daughter Karina Perez, who then allegedly laundered the proceeds as directed by a Mexico-based trafficker.
Right, they would do it under a certain threshold to avoid filings, right, to the IRS, and so they would just bring, a lot of people would bring in small amounts of bulk currency to the business.
This funneled.
Got these little small money transfer companies that you actually see, certain like people that from other countries, they send money back instead of using Western Union all the time. There are different ways to send money back to your country. So that's what they've been doing and staying under certain denominations as to not send out a red flag. They'll probably send like $400 and something instead of $500 if that's where the red flag hits. So that's how they've been actually laundering the money from the proceeds of the drugs and sending them back to the cartels, actually digitally.
Millions of dollars to Mexico just within the last year. Tuesday, the business was busted.
In the past 24 hours, DEA and our partners have seized over 100 pounds of fentanyl, $300,000 of suspected drug proceeds, guns, and made 22 arrests.
The second indictment charges two brothers with money laundering and drug trafficking, offering a total of $8 million in reward money for information leading to an arrest. Agents believe the brothers are in Mexico, but say their arrest would mean safer streets here in America.
So this is to my guys that were thinking yesterday about being bounty hunters and going after that $8 million. We have new information. There is $5 million in order to get them actually captured. $3 million just to give up the information. So if you guys are thinking about going over the border and turning into Dog the Bounty Hunter like, there's fear and darkness all around you, the criminals are on the run. Hey, that's $8 million that you guys have the potential of getting if y'all catch these two right here. And if you just tell on them, you got $3 million. So you still got a way to make some bread. I'm in the comments. What y'all got for me? That was crazy right there. Okay, Casey's dying laughing. You already know. $5 million, says Elizabeth. She's like, yo, I'm about to be a bounty huntress out this, man. She ain't playing. She's like, yo, give me my stuff. Hell no. I got my weed. That's all I need. I quit drinking and I have no intention of going into the hard drugs. Just don't buy wheat from sketchy dealers, said that doesn't work if you're a smoke plant. Okay, I got you. What else you got? Aaron says, sugar is the worst drug than marijuana. You're right so much, Aaron. You're so right. It's very addictive. Car Care says marijuana are homosexual drugs. Woo! Heavy Duty says exactly 9,999. That's BS, Car. What you said, Car. Black says, did Hank Schrader fund the stash? Car says marijuana is the gateway drugs. No, it's not, Car Care. Stop that. Stop telling lies on lies about lies, Car Care. You got too many people up in here that's going to defend marijuana. That person in the comments, I don't know why they're so defensive, but a lot of people are going to defend marijuana. Y'all got me dying laughing in here. I'm never known to show tears of laughter and joy, but guess what? I'm actually appreciating this. I think this is hilarious because now we got some more information from our great president, Donald Trump. He's at the Easter prayer service and the dinner. He hosted a few people and had a little to say about Easter as well as us moving forward. This is actually more new information. You guys didn't see this. Y'all didn't even know that this was going down. So I had to bring it to you. Really brief information, not too much, but just wanted you guys to see it. Here we go.
Magnificent performance. Thank you, Charles. That was great. Nearly 2,000 years ago, during the sacred week, the living Son of God entered Jerusalem in triumph. Soon after, the Savior of mankind, who brought truth and light into the world, was betrayed, arrested, and tried, beaten.
Sorry, guys. I wanted to fast forward that. Sorry.
So last night he used hymns. Honestly, nothing but.
So thank you very much, and thank you for being here, Franklin, very much. 3-day, your father would be very proud of you, by the way.
My dad has been struggling
come
for a
on,
really
come
long time.
on.
I'm sorry. Her dad.
Of the Christian faith, whether rich or poor, healthy or sick, young or old, or in times of peace or war, Christians everywhere find solace and hope in the knowledge that Christ died for them and that they could be united with him in heaven. And that's what we want. That's what we all want. The miracles of Holy Week set in motion a transformation in human existence. Countless millions of Americans have been moved by Christ's example to heal the sick, defend their families, lift up their communities, and make our country stronger, better, and greater than ever before.
Okay, again, just some information from the Easter dinner, not too much. He's giving a prayer. I know everybody wants to know everything, what's going on. So what we do, we try to give it all to you. Even if he's just saying a prayer, talking about something. If it's new information, think about it, it's going to be here. If it's something that's not getting promoted as much, I'm definitely going to put it here because something that's very important like that brother that got murdered in that prison, that has to go up, and more people need to know about it because when information gets out, more people know about it and things happen. We make change, believe it or not. We're going to keep on going because it's time to go to St. Louis. Y'all been shouting me out for a while, so I got something for St. Louis. Police are investigating an overnight carjacking and a fatal crash that killed a lady in St. Louis. 5 people were arrested. This seems like it happened with some young people acting out Grand Theft Auto, GTA, and as a result of that, they carjacked one person, and as they were trying to get away, T-boned another lady. She's no longer with us. Be very careful out here nowadays because as you can see, the state does not matter. It's the youth that are really misguided and doing a lot of crazy stuff that they should not be doing because they have not been guided in the right direction. Want you guys to see what's going on with this in St. Louis? Come to the front of the congregation right now, y'all. This for y'all. Let's go. Here we go, St. Louis. Let's go.
A woman carjacked on the city's north side by a group with guns.
And that crime ended with another woman killed in a crash involving the suspects as they were trying to get away here. First Alert 4's Justin Andrews joining us live in the studio this morning. And Justin, what police found in the car is part of a recent crime trend.
Yeah, absolutely. We're talking about fake guns. It's something First Alert 4 has been tracking when it comes to recent crimes in the city. And just overnight, yeah, these are the guns that police found inside that stolen car. Although police say one is fake, investigators are reminding us all that they can still be very dangerous. Here's that scene police responded to last night, shortly after 8:30. This is where everything ended near Natural Bridge and Union. When police tried to stop the suspects in the stolen Nissan, the criminals crashed into a woman in another car, killing her. Police tell us they took 2 adults and 3 juveniles into custody, but it was along Belt near Enright, close to the city's West End neighborhood, where the woman was carjacked of her Nissan by a group of people with guns. Here's what police found inside.
Recovered from that vehicle is going to be 2 operable firearms and 1 fake firearm. We do know right now that these young kids are using, some of them are using fake firearms to carjack people and rob people. It's just as dangerous to be out here with an imitation gun.
Somebody run up on you like this, you're not gonna think, oh, is that gun real or not? I'm getting the hell out this car. If I'm at the light and you got me, I'm not gonna try to pull off because you might try to pow, right? Come on, so how you know the difference? She's right.
And committing crimes.
All right, so at the beginning of this month, this is seemingly a real semi-automatic pistol police found after an Uber driver was carjacked. Detectives later determined this firearm was fake, but says the crime they committed was very real. Police have not identified the woman killed in this recent crash, and I'm talking about from 8:30 last night, but she was an innocent bystander in this, and it's bringing up even more questions when it comes to the safety of these crashes, of these chases, I should say. I'll explore that part of the story when I'm back.
All right, Justin, thank you very much.
Yeah, St. Louis, I'm so sorry to hear about that happening out there. We're going to give prayers and love to the families of everybody involved. But again, it seems to be continuous with the kids, continuous with them acting up, and like no direction. It's bananas. St. Louis, what's going on out there, y'all? What's going on in St. Louis? You know what? We're gonna keep on going now because I just got a lot. We have nowhere near the end. You guys appreciate this content. Double tap that screen to let everybody know what we're doing over here, because now I want you to see this other situation where this lady was 8 times by her ex-boyfriend. And he basically was all types of stuff trying to kill her. By the grace of God, she stayed alive. And it seems to me like she couldn't even believe or fathom the fact that he was going to do something like that to her, because she was saying his name as he was doing it. Like, Rashad, don't do this. Like, what are you doing? That's when somebody actually knows you. Like, I can't believe you're doing something like this to me. This is a very sad situation right here where this woman got pow-powed 8 times by her ex-boyfriend. Check this out, you guys. Not a good story. Hate to be reporting on it, but it happened, and I'm just gonna say, lucky she's alive.
An incredible story of survival. A woman shot by her estranged boyfriend who held her and their daughter hostage.
Yeah, this is frightening. We showed you body cam video back in July when Deshaun Dunmeyer was using his 3-year-old daughter as a shield from the SWAT team that was trying to rescue the little girl. Now, he was killed, but the mother and child survived, and now she has a message for other women. Not investigate. Shannon Butler has her story live in Studio C. Shannon.
Greg, in all, she was shot 8 times, scars she will carry for the rest of her life. But it's not just those wounds. The deepest scars cannot be seen, but she says she and her daughter are doing pretty well. And now she's hoping to save someone else from what she went through. Sheila Smith felt meeting Deshaun Dunmeyer at an LA shoe store was meant to be.
He was just really sweet. He had a good, high energy. He just seemed very positive. We just had fun. I mean, after that day, we kind of were inseparable.
What she didn't know until years later is that there was a side of him that was dark, so dark that he tried to kill her. The couple had broken up, but was co-parenting the best they could. That was until that day in July when she went to pick up her daughter and almost didn't make it out.
And he was like, "We're both gonna die today." And I'm like, "Sean, please, you do not have to do this." And he was still going, he was still mad, and he shot me again. So I tried to get away from him, and that's when he shot me in my back, and I kind of fall to the floor, and I'm begging him, "Sean, stop."
And finally, he choked her until she fell unconscious. When she came to, she was able to escape.
I knew I wasn't gonna die. I was like, okay, I know I'm gonna just have to fight my hardest fight.
She ran to get help. Finally, a man called 911, but that was just the beginning. She was completely unaware that while she was undergoing surgery, he was in a standoff with the SWAT team.
I promise you she's gonna be all right. I need you to be all right because she needs a father, okay? She needs her father, Deshaun.
Deshaun was now holding their daughter hostage as negotiators tried to get him to surrender.
Wow. Come here, sweetheart. Come here. Deshaun, don't make me do it. Deshaun, don't touch the gun and everybody will be fine. She's freaking out. Deshaun, come on, buddy. She's freaking out, dude.
For 6 hours, deputies tried to get him out, but he used that little girl as a shield as she cried in the chaos. But then, in an unbelievable move, the Orange County SWAT team shot him, saving that little girl.
Go, go! Come on, sweetheart.
Our SWAT officers saw him holding a gun and the baby, shot and killed the man. Thankfully, the baby is okay.
In all, Sheila was shot 8 times and is here to tell her story, crediting God for being able to raise this little girl now that her father is gone, and hopes speaking today helps someone else who might also be in danger.
I would say to always trust your gut feeling. If something doesn't sit right, something's probably not right.
All right, y'all. What y'all got to say about it? It went down. It was a drama-filled. Y'all saw it. What's going on with this? What y'all got? Block that fool. Who we blocking? Never. Relax. Let me know who we blocking, y'all. Letitia James should be behind the bars. Want to be stealthy of Amazon ring tasers? They won't see it coming. What else you got? There you go. Yes, Indian. What else you got? Car care timeout guy. Bill Andy, what's going on? What else? We got watching you, watching me. Stay single, ladies. These ninjas ain't worth it, says watching you, watching me. Sarah said, wow. Aaron says, and I've been here a whole hour to know he's a phony and blocked. Who y'all talking about? 6 hours? Indian says, ladies, the first time they disrespect you, leave. Casey says, God was with her. That's right, Casey. Thanks for staying on point. Batty Lynn says, oh my God, she is blessed to be able to walk away from that. Christina says, Aaron, we know car care here. What else? America's raise your kids better. Sarah, Bill Andy, car care, what are you saying? Aaron says, he's a phony, Christina. Hey, yo, I'm gonna say this. Car care, I've been wondering about you for a while. You be here real early before everybody come on. I don't know if you're a bot. I actually got respect for you, but sometimes you do say stuff that's crazy. And I've been really, like yesterday, I got off and I was thinking about you. You're really on the borderline right now because too many people saying stuff, and you might have to really approve that yourself that you're not a bot, because sometimes you'll say something smart and then you'll say something crazy. So I'm trying to figure you out myself. And you're in the lane right now, buddy. We're paying attention. So you have the right now to straighten up and fly right, or you can continue doing what you're doing. And you're gonna know the results. The child seeing all that, yes, he did. Watching you says, of course, it's Dusty typical. Josh says, okay, whatever, we car care, the soul is soil, toilet matter. See stuff like that. Only in to try to attack me, though, I'm not scumbag. What else we got here? You can say whatever you guys want. Y'all can say whatever y'all want here. Just don't be crazy and don't be disrespectful. Because I got some, I mean, you could say what you want to say. I like for people to have tough skin. Because you say stuff to me, I got to defend myself. So I look at it like, yo, y'all got to defend yourselves too. It's people talking back and forth. And just because you don't agree on something, it's not right for me to get you out of here or kick you out the chat. I'm not going to do that. But if you be disrespectful and say crazy stuff and it's just outlandish, I might have to get rid of you. I might have to, because you're throwing off the show and you're messing up the course of what's running. I need people to stay on topic. You can still say what you want to say to each other or whatever, but it's great when you stay on topic because we can have a great dialogue going on, like what we're about to talk about right now. We got this rideshare driver who sadly, he's an Uber driver, 77 years old. He winds up getting pow-powed as he's coming to pick somebody up. Personally, I think the person that he was coming to pick up was the intended target. He just caught the bad end of the stick, was able to get like 1 or 2 blocks away, and was found slumped outside of the car. This is why driving Uber, rideshare is very, very, very scary. I have a friend of mine myself that does it, and she's very scared to do it because many people try to run off, they try to do all sorts of things, and especially the fact that she's a female, it makes her even more intimidated. So I want you guys to see what's going on here in Philadelphia. That was a tragic event about an Uber driver. This man was only 77 years old who lost his life just trying to earn some money.
Good evening, Jacqueline. Police say that shooting happened right outside this Good evening, Jacqueline. Police say that shooting happened right outside this hookah lounge that we want to show you now. After he was impacted, the Uber driver managed to drive all the way and turn right here in the corner going down Chestnut. Right where you see that tree that was impacted is where the car stopped. Police say that they declared him dead at the scene.
Damn.
A tragic scene in one of the busiest streets in Center City. A 77-year-old Uber driver is dead and a 22-year-old man is in critical condition after police say just before 2 a.m. they responded to a shooting outside Biblo's Hookah Lounge on 18th Street. Officials say the 22-year-old had just walked out of the lounge and was getting into the Uber when an SUV pulled up behind. That's when at least one person got out and started shooting.
Where we found the vehicle that the victims were in is in the 1700 block of Chestnut Street. But we know the shooting took place around the corner.
After being shot, that 77-year-old driver was able to make it around the corner, but crashed into a light pole. That man's body was found slumped halfway out of the driver's seat, his upper body lying on the street.
He was suffering from at least one gunshot wound to the back of his head
A spokesperson for Uber confirmed that the man worked for the company in a statement that said, in part, quote, "Our hearts break for the driver's family and loved ones in the wake of this devastating loss. We've reached out to police to offer our support as they work to bring those responsible for this heinous act of violence to justice."
Someone who was very innocent and just looking to make some extra cash and helping people out. It's a very scary situation.
Uber drivers who work in the area say they are shocked and emotional to hear the news, something they say could have happened to any of them.
I think about it's like an accident, like it happened. Anybody work this kind of job in the night, it's a happen.
Joanne says for his own safety, he is cautious about the calls he accepts and the hours he drives for the company.
I don't do too much in the street in the night because I do more airport. Because in the street you don't know the people have gun.
Police say the suspect was possibly traveling in an SUV with a Massachusetts license plate. Now, it is important also to mention that officials say that there were plenty of people that witnessed what happened. They are offering a $20,000 reward for information that leads to the arrest of the suspect.
Yeah, that's in Philadelphia, y'all. Somebody lost their life. 77-year-old man. All he was trying to do was make some money. That's sad right there. What we got down here, y'all? Let me see if y'all got jokes about somebody losing their life, because that ain't funny. What's the truth? Airport is almost all illegal immigrants. What else we got here? Jesse says, we ain't going there because that's not staying on topic. Stay on topic. Let's see who's staying on topic. Okay, almost sounds premeditated. Okay, what we got here? Whoever's staying on topic, we're rocking with you. So that's Flig. I did Uber years ago as a side hustle in Hartford, Connecticut, New Haven, and Bridgeport area. I had some weirdos, I'm not going to lie, and stop because it gets tense at times. Okay, thanks, Flig, for telling us how it really is out there. What's the truth says those are the Ubers that always be outside Broad Street at the hotel. See, what's the truth? Know what's up. Chad C says, there is some discourse and a little bit of lib talk allowed. I try to keep my insults to MAGA losers and ding-dongs. Chad C, there you go, Chad. Good morning, glad that you're here. Sarah said, stay at home and smoke your own hookah in your crib, right, Sarah? What the hell you got to go to a lounge for? They sell hookah. You can make your own damn hookah in your house. Real talk, you ain't got to go out. What you want to show off? What you doing? What are you doing? Where you going? What you want to go out there for, right, Sarah? Stay your ass in the house. And what you got here? What else we got? We got Jesse James says, but oh no, he's not staying on topic. Okay, Christina says, what Christina saying? Christina, good morning, Christina. Yeah, was always raised, don't get in the car with a stranger, but here we go hopping into everyone's cars, but that's sad and crazy for that guy. I just really think that they was intending to get the guy that was actually getting in the vehicle, because they said that it happened when the guy came out. And plus the driver got hit in the back of the head. So yeah, they was probably shooting at the car as they was driving off or trying to aim at the guy that was getting in the back. And that's how that bullet went into the next person. Not only that, also guess what? That means that they were shooting wildly, similar to what we saw with those guys in the Bronx. Because if they just like this, they don't know how to shoot. That's another thing. You all these gangsters and y'all do all of this KILL, but y'all don't know how to shoot, and you always wind up shooting the innocent bystander. How about that? How about at least learn how to aim? Now we're gonna keep on moving forward, because this is a situation right here that happened a few streets away from me. I happen to know this post office. I don't know the post office, the person that actually who lost his life, but I do know the post office. So we're going to move forward because we got this family who's outraged after a man who KILLED, a postal worker in New York City, accepts a plea deal. I already told you guys, the criminals get away with the crime here. They get broken down charges so that they don't have to go to trial, and it saves money for the state. And the state said, you know what, since you're going to take a plea deal, we'll just let you plea out. And then the person never winds up going to trial and never gets the real amount of time that they should get. I happen to know that this postal worker only went inside the store to get a sandwich. They had an argument, and the next thing you know, this man dressed as a woman, because we don't play that game over here. What's up, homeboy? What's up, my G? When I see him dressed up like women and I know it's a man, I say, yo, what's up, bro? What's up, my G? How you doing, my guy? Oh, I'm the worst one to identify because I go all the way the other way. Yo, what's up, bro Ham? How you doing today, cuz? What's up, my G? Yo, bro, what's poppin'? That's how you get it from me. You're gonna get a different saying from these people because they're DEI. They're saying woman. I'm calling it like it is. This was a man dressed in drag that basically committed a crime of KILL in somebody that was going to get a sandwich. And now because of all of the liberal judges, this guy gets off with a smack on the wrist.
Break to anger. The family of a postal worker stabbed to death at a deli is outraged. His killer just accepted a plea deal for 15 years behind bars. Zania Maldonado explains why his mother believes justice was not served.
I just felt cheated. Like, my son was murdered. And, you know, I'm just like really frustrated.
Wednesday, 24-year-old Jaya Cruz accepted a plea deal at court for murdering 36-year-old Ray Hodge, a USPS mail carrier. This is Cruz when she was taken into custody back on January 3rd. She pled guilty.
He was taken into custody. He pled guilty. He is the one that copped out. I am not letting that happen on my platform. I don't give a damn if y'all got a problem with it. Real talk. I don't play that. That's a man dressed as a woman. So that was two men that got into it and one stabbed the other. And because we got liberal judges and DAs that don't want to really go to court because they know that they're going to lose, they'll take a plea. Yeah, they'll take a plea. And on the end of that is, guess what? This person copping out to 15, be home in like 10, on the streets in like 12, and right back out here doing what they want to do. Able to continue with his life while the post office worker's gone now.
To first-degree manslaughter and will serve 15 years in state prison. Hodge's mother was inside the courtroom. You and your family feel slighted with a 15-year sentence?
Yes. Yes.
According to court documents, Cruz was arguing with Hodge inside a Harlem deli before taking out a knife and stabbing him multiple times throughout his body. The stabbing took place back on January 2nd at 2:30 in the afternoon in front of deli workers and witnesses. The Manhattan District Attorney's Office stating in part, in context of the stabbing death, including the rapidly evolving and escalating confrontation and the other relevant sentencing considerations that are presented, the people have offered a plea to manslaughter in the first degree. The DA's office confirms it was aware the family was opposed to any type of offer. Rice says she wanted the case to go to trial to get justice for her son, a father of two.
And the way that you make that happen is you don't offer. You don't make an offer. In order to take somebody to trial, the way you do that as the DA, you stand firm in your charges and you keep on moving forward. You're not going to see, somebody in the comments just said it, 98% of the cases get plead out. Because why? We don't want to go to court back and forth. They don't want to spend the money. They don't want to have all the days back and forth. People just don't want to come to court. That's the real bottom line of it. When the reality is you got a father and now two sons that lost their life because of a person that has the messed up mind. First of all, they got a messed up mind that they can't even really understand who they are. And then now you got this person that's moving around, got y'all calling them she when it's a he. That's another problem. Call people what they are and deal with the ramifications. If that's a man, it's a man. It is what it is. What we got here, Angels Among Us says, stabbing is intimate, too horrible. Yes, you're supposed to get more time. Where I come from, you're supposed to get more time for stabbing. It's direct contact. You know what you're doing with every stab. That's intentional. This right here, pow, pow, it could have went anywhere. Totally right. You know what you're talking about. Appreciate that. Dennis says 15 years in a reality, he'll be out in 8. There you go. Thank you for saying he too. Democrats are going to defend the stabber. There you go. What you got? We got what's the truth? 15 years for a murder. It should be proportional to how many years your victim would have lived. I like that one. What's the truth? Fred is over here like, what? Christina's like, Chad C does sound like you mean that. Christian says, plea deals are 90%. Very few cases go to trial. I said that when you was right. Devil's Playground and advocates. That's what we got. Watching you, watching me says, judge is gonna Caitlyn Jenner, that dude. Yep, Fred James. Oh, I thought that was a woman. Yeah, right. Dennis says, I like this guy. Glad I found this. Thank you, Dennis. I appreciate you. Chris says, 98% of the cases are pled out, and that's not new information. Your angle is weak at best. Okay. Telling you what's going on here, thun. Aaron, my neighbor allegedly shot and killed somebody and is out after 7 years. Everyone in the hood knows he did it, and he plead aggravated assault and is out. And guess what? Everybody in the neighborhood scared to death of him and look up to him. Waffle says she got shoulders. Yeah, she definitely do, right, Waffle? Which prison? Jamie said she definitely got some shoulders on her, don't she?
She got off too easy.
With Cruz's sentencing now set for May 28th, Rice and her family are left with no choice but to move forward.
One day at a time. I want Ray to be remembered for the good person he was, the excellent father he was, and I just really want him to be remembered for the good person and the heart he had.
Zinnia Maldonado, CBS News, New York.
From heartbreak to...
Yeah, so my stepsister knows him. That's right up the block from where she live at. The post office is on, I want to say, 143rd Street. Yeah, 143rd Street between like 7th and Lenox. That's where that post office is at. It's that one. It's the one that caters to that area. I'm sorry, Lenox Avenue. It caters to that area. 140, not 7th Street, 140 like 2nd Street, 143rd, something like that. That's actually where that happened at. This is the nature of what we're dealing with. We went to many different states. We saw a lot of young people acting up. We see shiesty masks. We see nonsense going on. All I can tell you guys is pay attention, because you don't know when it's going to happen and where it's coming from. It's Friday. People going to act crazy. Me, I don't look at the sun and the weather being warm as a good thing. I like the rain. I like the snow, and I like when it's torrential stuff going on, because that's less people outside and there's less potential for something to happen. I don't think like everybody else. When I see the sun and it's warm in New York, it scares me. It lets me know that I got to be paying attention to what's going on, because a lot of people do stupid stuff because the sun brings out nonsense. It brings out more people that's going to try to enjoy the sun, and more people means more drama, especially depending on the state and the area that they are. Not going to be chilling in no parks, not going to be going to no theaters and concerts and nothing like that, because that's where things happen at. Got to stay smart, and if you want to live to a long, ripe age as myself, y'all pay attention, because tomorrow is more important than going to see some concert or doing something stupid to get you in trouble. That's why we do this, and why I appreciate you guys, and why we do this every day. Yes, we are at that point where I want you guys to make sure that y'all go into the description, because we got surveys in there today up to $500. There's 2 of them. Fill out a survey, see if you can make some money. I make $25 off the surveys that you guys complete anyway, so we all make some money. Because I like for y'all to make some money. Because right now, it's real out here. And real is a fact, but I'll be damned if my stomach ain't in my back. It's real out here. I know a lot of people hungry, and that's why I made this right here as well. It's called Show Your Talent. It's the talent show that we have coming up in the 5 boroughs, where I want to see your talent. 5 boroughs, Manhattan, Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens. You guys come out and show me your talent. If you win in that borough, you get $250. After everybody does theirs in every borough, we bring all of the finalists together, and you got a chance to win $1,000. That's right, y'all, $1,000 supplied by Big Drip, www.drinkbigdrip.com. That's that grape with 14% alcohol right there. Y'all got to be 21 and older. So if you have talent, if you can sing, dance, rap, if you know how to make chicken, like I told y'all yesterday, if you know how to make a bust, if you know how to drive, if you can do a wheelie, I don't know what you can do, but if it's talent, I want to see it, and I'm going to let y'all know where to come to show it to me, because I'm going to give you $250 if you the best one that day. Like I told you, somebody might come in there singing, and an old lady walk in with a bucket of chicken and say, "Here, this is my chicken, this is my talent." And you win, because talent is talent. We're not going to limit it, not just about hip hop, it's about everything. Somebody might come in there with a bust. Somebody might come in there with a painting. If it's better than what we like, and what else is going on, and we see it, you're going to make $250 and move on to the finals where you can make $1,000. I love to give back because that's what I'm about. I really appreciate you guys always coming here. Do me a favor. We're trying to get to that 40,000 members mark and subscribers mark. You don't have to spend any money, but go ahead and join the channel. Subscribe to the channel so that you know when we're on, which is every day at 6 o'clock. That's what we do here at Our Bottom Line. I hope you guys had a fantastic day, a beautiful show, because I feel that we did. Also, I want to tell y'all something that I feel right here and that you know if you know me. Problems present opportunities. I got problems going on right now. I told my buddy yesterday, oh, we got this problem. We got to figure out how to get these cold burritos all the way from Colorado to New York. He's like, what are we going to do? I said to him, you know what? At least we know the problem, so now we can come up with the solution. Look at things like that. Don't look at the problem. Look at the problem for giving you half of the answer. How about that? Let's use it as a cheat. So let's keep on moving, you guys. Let's stay positive. I want you guys to win. I want to see you guys make it. Somebody just gave up $4.99. We're going to shout them out. Valerie, we appreciate you so much. Enjoy Ying. Enjoying the content. I thank you so much for that, Valerie, because I know a lot of people ain't got it. So I want to tell you, I appreciate that. And moving forward, please subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you're a member. We give away merch. We really look out for each other over here. How? If you got a business, you might have a mobile barber, you might be a detailer, you might have a flyer. Send it to us and we're gonna put it in the post section so everybody can see it and give you possible more chance to get more advertising and make some more money. Because that's what we're about. We're trying to keep each other afloat. We know what's going on out here and we actually care. It's your boy Bugatti NYC, and like I always told you, y'all could have went anywhere. But the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. So until tomorrow, y'all already know what it is. Have a fantastic day. Live, don't just live for Friday. I want to see y'all tomorrow because tomorrow is another day. Don't worry about this weekend because we got more days to do and more shows to knock out. It's your boy Bugatti NYC. Like I always told you, y'all could have went anywhere. Fact of the matter that you came here, I appreciate you. And y'all already know what it is. Get 'em! One. Talk to y'all later. Thank you so much. Peace.